The title race takes another turn in Liverpool's favour. There's promising signs for the Premier League's bottom teams. AC Milan's new man hits the ground running. There's the day's transfer news, and of course, we have this week's great debate. That and more coming up in the next few minutes, as I'm your host, Matt Froelich. You are the One Footballers, and this is the Daily News. First off, and to a quick recap of last night's action, where Liverpool will be delighted that Manchester City lost at Newcastle. Now, even though they took the lead with just 26 seconds on the clock thanks to Sergio Aguero, Newcastle fought back to victory. This means that when Liverpool kick off against Leicester tonight, they could move 7 points clear. And if you guys want to know the score of that game, I'll tell you right now. Liverpool win 1-0, Mo Salah will score a penalty. There, end of it. But in all seriousness, no, this is a massive test for Manchester City right now, as in the next week they face Chelsea, Everton and Arsenal, and to be honest, the title race could be over by the end of February. Now, I know that's me speaking pretty prematurely, especially given Liverpool's massive bottle job a few years ago, but it does look like the writing is on the wall and the Reds will finally lift their first ever Premier League title. But elsewhere in the Premier League, and on top of Newcastle's fantastic win against Manchester City, some of the bottom clubs had more promising signs for the rest of the season. Burnley will be disappointed that they didn't come away from Old Trafford with all 3 points, having been leading 2-0 with about 6 minutes to go. Paul Pogba scored a penalty and Victor Lindelof got a 92nd minute equaliser, but things are looking pretty good for them. Sean Dyche seems to have turned things around just a little bit at Burnley. Elsewhere, Fulham put on a fantastic second half display to score 4 goals against Brighton to win 4-2 for new boss Claudio Ranieri. And as for Cardiff, well, we all know it's been a difficult few weeks. After the disappearance of new striker Emiliano Sala, Neil Warnock did say that football match was actually a good thing to help take the players' minds off the incident. They did end up losing 2-1 to Arsenal, but they did manage to register 19 shots at the Emirates. And although you're going to point to the fact they only managed to score 1 of them, this is still pretty good going for a side who finds goals hard to come by. So maybe they might have just turned a corner and relegation may not be a certainty after all. Elsewhere though, it was bad news for Huddersfield, who despite sacking David Wagner, bringing in Jan Sievert, things remain exactly the same as they lost at home to Everton. But on to some more positive news, we'll talk about goals, and that's exactly what Krzysztof Piątek is bringing to AC Milan. After Higuain departed for Chelsea, the Polish forward was brought in, and he started his career with 2 goals inside the first 30 minutes. Now apparently he wasn't allowed to have the number 9 shirt at AC Milan because the club thought that was too big a number with too much responsibility, and well, you've got to earn that kind of shirt. So he took the number 19, said he was going to find the back of the net, and did so in fantastic style. This puts AC Milan into the semi-finals of the Italian Cup. Next up, and we have today's transfer news and rumours, where first off, Chelsea defender Andreas Christensen is interesting Juventus and Dortmund in a loan deal. Elsewhere, Tottenham have joined Leicester in the race to sign Monaco midfielder Yuri Tielemans. Arsenal today could complete a loan deal for Denis Suarez for a fee of around $2.5 million. However, there won't be an option to buy him in the summer as he's just signed a new contract at Barcelona. And lastly, Real Madrid are targeting Eintracht Frankfurt's on-loan striker Luka Jovic as a long-term replacement for Karim Benzema. And lastly but not least, because it's Wednesday, we have this week's great debate. This is where our newsroom put their heads together and come up with a question to ask you guys and myself, of course. For all of their answers and mine, don't forget to check out the OneFootball app where the great debate will be published. But for you guys, I want to know in the comments section, which 16 teams would you have in the European Super League? Now, earlier in the season, there were rumours and reports leaked that the biggest clubs in Europe could be breaking away to form their own Super League. So we want to know who would be involved. Now, I'm not going to bore you and list every single team right now, so I'm going to leave it down in the comment section where you guys can have your say as well. Alongside that, don't forget to let me know everything you thought on today's daily news. Is the title race really over? Do Man City have a chance? Will any of the transfer rumours come true? And of course, you can smash the like button whilst you're there. You can also click here to check out all of the other videos that we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.